analytics has been trending for a while, and AI machine learning, and that kind of hype doesn't seem to be going anywhere, especially with generative language modeling, for example, ChatGPT.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, I think it's a double-edged sword, though. In a sense, it does make your life easier because the familiarity is already there, right? But we do see a bunch of high-level executives building amazing things fall into this mistake of taking this hype not only for granted, but assuming it's more than it is. So it's kind of like, in sales, if someone tells you, wow, amazing, fantastic, send me some more information and I'll definitely take a look at that. This is actually mostly what the equivalent in the corporate world is what often happens with analytics, right? The lip service is there and the executives might be genuinely interested, but people are not really getting through so that they will actually back this up with real investment, with real action.
We do that to ourselves in analytics as well, right? It is so easy to create some PowerPoint slides that describe the cool thing you might do. It is so easy to present, kind of a shiny object. The way that you defeat that sort of resistance, that sort of disbelief, is through the hard work at the end of the day. And on my team, we have a kind of a culture we're building of real demo, right? And I'm sure you do. I get calls from 5 or 6 vendors a day that want to take me through 6 PowerPoint slides and show me a 2-minute video clip of what their tool can do. And you know how this story ends, right? You get into it and it's not exactly what was promised, or it's, that's coming 3 versions from now. We measure ourselves in terms of our outcomes, our KPIs, our scorecard, whatever you want to call it. And we also hold ourselves to showing real live experiences, real live tools. And we don't see a project as being done until real user functionality, real benefit to our users can be proven. And I've already taken you down this road in our past conversations, but I really believe in this. I believe the right way to look at yourself as an analytics leader is to think of yourself as a business within the business, right? And the real point of that at the end of the day is to focus on what is the product that you are at the end of the day giving to somebody. Is that product making a difference? And measure the real impact of that product. Because if Apple were to come and try to sell us a phone and, they sold us a really nice looking box that didn't really work, there's no future business in that for them. Their company does not survive. They sell you a game-changing piece of technology that works just the way you want it to work. And so they have, excellent customer loyalty, all those things. If you lead an analytics team, you need to be thinking in exactly the same way, which is, it's not enough for me to be a used car salesman to give you a beat up old junker that looks good the first day you drive it off the lot. You won't come back to buy from me again. You'll go find a vendor to do the work. It's not enough for me to make promises to you and then never show up with the goods. Like, you need to be thinking about yourself as a small business person. You want that person to buy from you today by, accepting your work, by going forward and using it, and then come back again 3 weeks later and want more. I think if you think about your team in that way, not as a team that creates cool stuff, not as a team that needs to look as impressive as possible, but as a team that needs to keep its customers coming back for more by actually answering what they want, it's much more challenging to do. It takes a lot more work, but ultimately you will be way more successful. You'll avoid a lot of the pitfalls that I've fallen into in my career, and I know many others have. And also you will learn how to tell a story that will convince a senior leader, a CEO, a CFO, because in order to be that small business within the business, you have to understand how your business, the larger business, creates value and how you can add value to that business. And that's all that the folks in the C-suite, the decision makers in your company care about, is how can I create more value for this company? If you force yourself to understand that and think about how your small business creates value for that larger business, you'll be able to tell a story to any C-suite executive and get them to nod along and at least ask great questions, if not agree with you in the meeting. That's my personal philosophy. That's kind of what gets me up every day.
And I love that you brought it up, because that was one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to get you on the podcast, because we keep hammering this point about that you need to look at yourself as an intrapreneur. Now, it sounds like sometimes it's one of those buzzwords that everyone says, yeah, sure, but it's not really being taken to real action.